I'll introduce you, okay? Please welcome Asia Alamonte, class treasurer, and Elise Staunton, class secretary.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the national anthem performed by the PVMHS Full House a cappella. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? You may now be seated.
At this time, I would like to introduce Principal of Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, Mr. Stephen Magno.
Good morning. I am Principal Stephen Magno, and I would like to welcome you to the Peabody Veterans Memorial High School graduation, class of 2021. I want to welcome Mayor Edward A. Betancourt Jr., Superintendent Dr. Josh Vidala, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Christopher Lord, members of the school committee, city council, state and local leaders, and distinguished guests. On behalf of the PVMHS learning community, I'd like to thank all the parents, caregivers, families, friends, and members of the community who are in the audience today, and to those watching at home. We appreciate your support, partnership, understanding, patience, and the sacrifices you have made, especially this year, that have made this day possible. Your passion and pride for Peabody and Peabody Public Schools is second to none. To the dedicated teachers, staff, nurses, and leadership team of Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, you've gone above and beyond all year. You've stood strong in the face of adversity and uncertainty. You quickly learned and applied new skills and have demonstrated that it is possible to innovate and reimagine teaching and learning. I am proud to call you colleagues and friends, and our students are lucky to have you. You are the true unsung heroes. Lastly, to the class of 2021, It's nice to finally see your smiling faces without masks on. I also want to give a shout out to class advisors, Ms. Dobson and Ms. Monzo, who had a difficult year, but persevered and found ways to have some senior events to celebrate you appropriately. Class of 2021, this is definitely not how you envisioned your senior year, but you should be proud of your accomplishments and the challenges you have overcome. Malcolm X said, "There is no better than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance the next time." The COVID-19 pandemic has forever changed us. While we often hear about and yearn for a return to normalcy, we should more aptly discuss the seeds and lessons we have learned from the pandemic so we can move forward, not backwards. Where can we innovate and rebuild so we can all be better together? Many have said that you have suffered this year. Well, there is truth in this statement. It should not define you. It doesn't tell your whole story. When faced with loss and adversity, you have persevered. You have remained resilient. You have become stronger. As you end your time at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, a new and exciting journey awaits you. The best years of your life are yet to come. I promise you. You are destined to do great things, and I am confident we have prepared you well. Your future is bright and full of hope. To quote the fictional character Andy Dufresne, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Thank you. Please welcome Mayor Edward A. Betancourt, Jr.
Well, good morning. It's so great to be here. And the best gift that I can give to our graduates and to everybody here today is a very brief speech, and I will be giving a very brief speech. But there are some things I would like to say. I am honored to be here today to help celebrate this momentous occasion in the lives of our graduates and their families. As we all know, this school year was like none other before. Learning was different, schedules were different, school-related activities were different, social life was different. Our students, families, teachers, administrators, and staff had to adapt to ever-changing circumstances brought on by the COVID pandemic. And just when we were getting used to those changes, we had to change again. Graduates, although some of your time at Peabody High School was marked by grief, the passing of some beloved community members, and then by the fear, uncertainty, and disappointment brought on by COVID-19, you stayed laser focused on your goals, and you have accomplished something truly special. By facing adversity head on, you and your classmates are stronger and better prepared for what lies ahead. Because the only constant in this world is change, and the only certainty is uncertainty. Throughout our history, young people have stepped up and answered the call to service and sacrifice in one form or another. Doing your part to keep your family, friends, and classmates safe and healthy during this pandemic is the calling of your generation, and you have answered that call. You looked out for one another, you demonstrated kindness, compassion, respect, and love. Now, we are all rooting for you to continue to make a positive difference. There are a great many problems in our world that need solutions, and we need your energy, talent, and passion to help solve them. We are all counting on you. Each of you have represented Peabody High School with honor and distinction. You have set a wonderful example for the next graduating class to follow. You helped our entire school community through a very difficult time in our history, and for that, you should be most proud. On behalf of the city, congratulations. We wish you the very best in all your future endeavors, and always know that Peabody has your back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Betancourt. Now I'd like to introduce Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Josh Vadawa.
Thank you, Mr. Magno, and thank you, Mayor Betancourt, for those thoughtful words. I am humbled and honored to stand before you today. And on behalf of the school committee, our distinguished guests, our faculty and staff, our parents and families, and of course our graduates, I just want to thank you through this trying year that you've been able to be flexible, adapting, and understanding over all the changes that we have made this year. 4 weeks ago, we were planning graduation, and it looked very different than it does today. And again, we had to pivot and be flexible, and we ended up with this wonderful ceremony. So I look at our graduates with their smiles on their faces, and I look at these packed stands, and I'm filled with joy. And I hope that you are too. As I look at the graduates today, I want to offer you a small piece of advice. It was something that I got in high school that has stuck with me through this day, and it's 3 simple words. Be the best. And when I say that, I don't want you to compare yourself to anyone else, not the person next to you, not the person you're competing against, but compare yourself within. Be the best person that you can be. Every time you take on a task, try to give your best effort. That will be the key to success and happiness as you move forward. So my goal was to try to be shorter than Mr. Magno and Mayor Betancourt. And speaking of the best part of every graduation are the student speeches. So it is my great pleasure to turn this over to your class presidents, Grace Conway and Amber Karakopoulos. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vidala. Good morning, everyone. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge and thank a few individuals who've helped navigate through this interesting year. Thank you to Principal Magno, Assistant Principal Haas, Superintendent Dr. Vidala, and Assistant Superintendent Dr. Lord. I would also like to give the biggest thank you to all the teachers, especially our class advisors, Mrs. Dobson and Mrs. Monzo, who've helped make this year as functional and special as they could. They're the true heroes in all of this, so thank you. I would also not be speaking here today without the support of our class as a whole. So thank you for allowing me to be your class co-president for the past 4 years. I'm forever grateful to have gotten this opportunity. Before I can get into the core of what I want to leave you all with today, I have a story to tell. It was last summer, and some friends and I were on one of our many late-night drives. The air was warm, there was the smell of a fire pit in the distance, the music was playing over the radio. It was the book definition of a perfect summer night. School had recently just finished for the year, and despite not having a normal end, it felt like a weight had been lifted off our shoulders as we didn't have to worry about turning in an assignment or tuning into Google Meet. On that drive with the windows down and the last project turned in, I could feel time stop and felt truly in the moment. It was then I was able to come to an epiphany about life. If this year has taught us one lesson, it's that anything can change in a second. Often we find ourselves reluctant to take action in these types of desires. There's a mindset that once a certain chapter of our life has closed, there's an iron curtain that falls down with it and locks it shut, leaving us with the constant thoughts of what could have been. I'm not sure why or when this mindset was created, but it's about time for it to start fading away. Life is supposed to be full of adventure and excitement. It's the unknown that keeps us going. So what if you didn't speak up as much as you wanted to in class or had the courage to stand up for what you believe in? Just because it's something you didn't do at Peabody High or during your teen years doesn't mean it isn't a viable option to do in the future. As we're handed our diplomas today and walk away from Peabody High for the last time as students and first time as graduates, rather than being a chapter closed, we're merely continuing on with our story with the light shimmering in the back, open any time, whether it be to look back on the memories made, to revisit a lesson learned from a favorite teacher, or to reflect on who we were and compare it to how far we'll eventually become. It'll always be there no matter how far we go. I know for myself, whenever I'm having difficulty with the problem, Mrs. Dobson will still be there to listen and help guide me through it, or when I'm trying to figure out something with the economy and I don't understand what's going on, Mr. Pedersen will be right there with my many emails as he had to deal with this year as I struggled with AP Econ. If there's any class who I know will go and be unapologetically themselves and live to the fullest, it's Peabody High's class of 21. Never have I been prouder to be part of a class that has spoken their truth countless times and has persevered through all that we faced the past few years. One of the many things being the constant reconstruction of glorious Lowell Street and being stuck in traffic for what felt like weeks. Before I leave the stand today, I want to leave you all with a quote that has been near and dear to my heart for several years now and who's been my idol, Elle Woods. It is with passion, courage and conviction, and strong sense of self that we take our next steps into the world, remembering that first impressions are not always correct. You must always have faith in people, and most importantly, you must always have faith in yourself. Thank you again. I look forward to seeing what the future holds and all of your accomplishments I know you will all achieve. Thank you.
Please welcome Class Co-President Amber Karakopoulos.
Hello, parents, family, teachers, administration, staff, of course the graduates, Mayor Betancourt, and other dignitaries. My name is Amber Karakopoulos, one of the senior class presidents. It feels great to see everyone's smiling faces today, quite literally because for the first time in a long time, we aren't wearing masks. I would like to thank everyone who has given me the opportunity to stand before you all today. It's been a privilege to serve as class president and to be part of such a strong and resilient group of students. Since freshman year, I have repeatedly heard the warnings that high school goes by so quickly or don't blink or you'll miss it. I have always chalked these up to be nothing more than cliches, but now here we are, in our caps and gowns with the ones we love, and these statements couldn't be more true. I would like to use the short time I have to send you home with a few things. First being, do not take anything for granted. 2020 was a hard year for many people and taught us all that nothing is guaranteed. Throughout our high school careers, we dreamt of a perfect senior year, and that was taken from us at the drop of a hat. We transitioned from being face-to-face with our teachers to being taught through a screen. It goes without saying that the class of 2021 has endured countless obstacles over the last year and a half. Through these hardships, we have learned to be resilient and could not be more prepared for the future. I am positive that this whole ordeal has only made us stronger, and after the challenges of this year, we can conquer anything that comes our way. To my fellow graduates, I would like to remind you that our days are precious, and I encourage you to enjoy each and every day life gives you. You only get one shot at life in this world. You don't get a do-over, so make it count. Try everything you can. Say I love you more. Smile while you're here, and remember to take risks, because the biggest risks have the biggest rewards. Class of 2021, as we leave here today, our adult lives start now. Think about the person you want to be for yourself and your future family. I encourage you all to live authentically. Never stop striving to become the person you dream of being, the absolute best version of yourself. So keeping ourselves healthy this year took some doing, and even with the worst behind us, the stress and anxiety took a toll on everyone. We can't overlook the seriousness of the mental health crisis facing our generation. For those of you who may not know, mental health awareness is at the forefront of my priority list and has been for quite some time, largely due to COVID-19. The pandemic impacted all of us in many different ways, but personally, I noticed I was struggling mentally, and so were my peers. I decided to pay more attention to my mental health and advocated for others to do the same. I learned it was okay to lean on others and to ask for help, and especially not to keep everything bottled up. I would like my classmates to know that there is always somebody ready to listen, and there's always somebody willing to help. As I know from experience, people hide many of their issues behind a smile. So please, check on your so-called happy friends, because you never know what goes on behind closed doors. Always try to be a shoulder to cry on and a support system for those around you. Know that it's okay to be sad, it's okay to struggle, but by working together, we can help others through their battles as we have helped each other here the past 4 years at Peabody High. Together, let's be the generation to end the negative stigma around mental health. I cannot wait to witness or hear all of the beautiful things each and every graduate will accomplish. After today, we will all be taking totally different paths, but that just shows the amazing character of the class of 2021. I know this class has the potential to leave the world a better place. Some of us will be defending our country, making strides in the medical field. Some will be running for office or teaching the upcoming generation. But wherever we all go, we most importantly will make Peabody proud. Congratulations, class of 2021. Good luck. Let's go change the world.
Thank you, Amber and Grace. Our next speaker is the class of 2021 essayist, Olivia Moretti.
Good morning. It is my honor today to welcome you all to our commencement ceremony. I never thought this day would come so soon. Time really does fly. It feels like just yesterday that I was walking into this school as a freshman, getting lost trying to find my way to AP Bio. I would like to take a moment to thank all of our friends, families, and teachers for the unwavering support and guidance they have provided us with over these past 4 years. Without them, this day truly would not be possible. I would also like to give a special thanks to my mom for all of her sacrifices, hard work, and support throughout this journey with me. She truly is my inspiration and my hero. I want to start off by saying that I know this is not the senior year that we had hoped for. Senior year is something that you look forward to for the majority of your teenage years leading up to it. This was supposed to be the best year of high school. Maybe, for some of us even, the best year of our lives. Instead, our senior year was plagued with remote learning, cancellations of events, and mask wearing. That being said, we are extremely lucky to be here today, having a graduation with our loved ones present, something that was unforeseen a year ago. Although we lost a lot this past year, I personally believe that we all learned an extremely valuable lesson that we would have never learned otherwise. That lesson is never taking things for granted and living your life to the fullest. Now, I'm sure you've probably heard it said a million times before, but nothing has put it in perspective for us like this pandemic has. This past year, I learned a lot about myself. But more importantly, I learned how valuable some aspects of life truly are. Things like blasting music in the car with my friends during a late night drive, holding my baby cousin, hugging my family members, saying hello to my teachers in the hallways. I took all of these things for granted when, in reality, these were some of the most valuable moments in my life. I just didn't realize it until they were taken away from me. People grow up believing that money, social status, and popularity are what is important. This past year has taught me that none of these things really matter. What matters most are the little things, the moments we share with the people we love that we will never forget. I think we spend so much time believing that certain things are important. We forget that it's our relationships with others that bring us the most joy. We all took different paths to get here today with our own personal goals and challenges in mind, but all roads led to the same place, graduating as the class of 2021, a class that will go down in history. Similarly, when we leave here today, we will likely all take different paths in life. Some of us will go to college, some of us will join the workforce, some will go to the military. But what we will all carry with us long after graduation is over is the resilience and perseverance that we displayed during this very challenging year. So my final message for you all here today is do what makes you happy, as soon as you can, for as long as you can, because you never know what the future holds, and you never know when a curveball is going to be thrown your way. The rest of our lives are going to fly by even faster than high school did. So do what makes you happy, and never take for granted what you have in front of you. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Olivia. At this time, please welcome the class of 2021 Salutatorian, Lily Bromberger.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming and supporting the entire graduating class of 2021. I know each and every senior here has worked hard to overcome everything in their past and finally receive their diploma. So as we're all leaving high school, I want to talk about how uncertainty plays a role in our lives. I know that for myself, and I'm sure many other of you graduates, having to decide what on earth we're doing next has surely been a struggle. Looking at all the options was a daunting task within itself, especially when you're unsure of the future. Even after having so-called decided what I'm doing next year, I still don't know if it's the right path for me. For me, this day has been truly bittersweet. While it represented all of the hard work so far coming to fruition, it also comes with having to decide what you're doing for the rest of your life, or so I thought. For a while, I was thinking about enlisting, then I was sure a gap year is what I was meant to do next, and now finally, I'm going to college in the fall. The stress of having to decide what I was going to do next was wrecking me. When people asked me what was coming, I would even make up answers so I could avoid it. It really seemed like everyone else had it figured out, and I still didn't know. What I've come to realize is that it's okay not to know everything now. As your parents, teachers, mentors, and everyone else has told you, whatever you end up doing next doesn't affect what you're doing 20 years from now. As we experienced firsthand this year, things don't go according to plan anyways. So as we look towards the future, we have to realize that things will change, and what you have in mind now isn't the same as what will happen. A quote from someone I heard, someone who is wiser than me said, is that life is like a river and it goes where it wants to, not where you want it to. This is how you have to choose to look at everything we've had to experience this year. Entering our last year of high school during the heights of a pandemic, we really had no clue what it looked like. Over the summer, we didn't know if we could see our friends in person, or even if we were going to come to school at all. Thankfully, we've been able to have so many nice events, such as a movie night, Spirit Week, and finally a graduation with our friends and family. Regardless of how we're finishing high school, everyone here was able to finish it, and that's a major accomplishment within itself. As we wrap up this great first portion of our lives, I want us to all leave with something that Winston Churchill said, which is that success is not final, failure is not fatal, and it's always the courage to continue that really counts. Thank you, and congrats! Woo!
Thank you, Lily. It is now my honor to introduce the class of 2021 Valedictorian, Kara Shapiro.
Good morning, friends, family, teachers, administrators, and of course, the graduating class of 2021. Before I begin my speech, I just want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to speak in front of you today at such an important occasion. I wanted to talk about something that is most likely on all of our minds today, success. Of course, this word is going to be talked about a lot today. We're sitting here, about to graduate high school, and that is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. However, as cliche as this might sound, I want to talk about the very definition of the word success. When I was little, this word had a very rigid definition for me, as I'm sure it did for all of you as well. In order to be quote-unquote successful, you have to get the highest grades possible, go to the best school, make the most money, marry at a reasonable age, have kids, and grow old, all while providing for your family. At least that's what society taught us. I don't know how many of us kept true to this literal definition, however, I know I did. For some reason, this was so ingrained in my head that I didn't see another way to go about being successful. For the past 13 years of my life, I have done everything possible to be able to stand in front of you all today and give this speech. While I'm grateful for everything I've accomplished and to have the opportunity to stand in front of you all today, this, despite popular belief, did not come naturally to me at all. In order for me to reach my unreasonably high goals, I started to put an extreme amount of pressure on myself. I put school above everything. From dance to clubs to my own health, school always came first. Just as many of you, the schedule to obtain this success was ludicrous. In a normal year, we are expected to go to school for 6.5 hours, stay after for any clubs, go to practice or a game, and then come home late at night to do all of our homework and studying before getting 5 hours of sleep just to do it all over again the next day. As much as hard work does pay off, living like this definitely took a toll on my well-being, just as it would on anyone else's. It wasn't until our GPAs and class ranks first came out in the beginning of junior year that I had some sort of realization. This obsession that I had always had finally paid off when I saw that number 1 underneath the rank section, or so I had thought. This was supposed to be the first step to my being successful, so really, this should have been my happiest moment. I know it may be hard to believe, but it wasn't, and I never understood why until I heard this quote a little while ago. It goes like this: "If you're happy doing what you're doing, then nobody can tell you you're not successful." I know this probably sounds a little bit rich coming from me, but it did come down to hearing this quote to truly understand where I went wrong. Through my twisted definition of success, I had thought that if I were to achieve this impossible standard, I would finally be happy. Clearly, that was not the case. In fact, it was the exact opposite. Some immeasurable definition of success can never grant you complete happiness, and I had to learn this the hard way. All of our grades, SAT scores, GPAs, they are all quantifiable amounts. They are a standard created by society, just like our definition of success. Something as abstract as happiness and success cannot be calculated with these society-created numbers. It is happiness itself that truly shows how successful one is. I would have never thought that such a simple quote would change my outlook on life, but it honestly has. When we look back on this graduation 10, 15, 20 years from now, our class is going to be made up of entirely different people. Wherever your path will take you, whether it's moving to a new state or to a completely different career choice than the one you have planned now, I can only hope that this small moment in time will make some type of impact on you all. With the year we have gone through, this class has never been more prepared for what's to come, and I can't wait to see where our lives take us. So, to our future doctors, lawyers, teachers, and anything else the class of 2021 will become, if you take only one thing from this speech, focus on your happiness, because that is a true way to achieve success. I hope we as a class will one day look back and realize that we have not only become successful, but are unconditionally happy with our lives. Thank you for listening to my speech, and congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Kira. The Peabody Veterans Memorial High School Full House A Cappella will perform "May Our Paths Meet Again." And now, the presentation of the diplomas by Mr. William Kroll and Mrs. Ashlyn Fidalgo, awarded by Mayor Edward A. Betancourt, Jr.
Kira Shapiro. Lily Bromberger. Olivia Beretti. Maggie Benna. Francisca Sousa. Stephanie Guglielmo. Zoe Torres. Joao Ribeiro. William Bornstein. Bjorn Scherda. Samantha Silva. Jenna Rich. Alexander Franklin. Jake Malionik. Sophia Izzo. Paulina Stratikos. Eric Medeiros. Harrison Fisher. Danny Machado. Madison Knight. Asia Almonte. James Almonte. Aaliyah Aline. Jasmine Alcada. William Alvarado. Dominic Anisi. Benjamin Applebaum. Ethan Arico. Blake Austin. Sybil Awandam. Abraham Ayuso. Konstantinos Bakitselos. Haley Baker. Lillian Bastos. Ryan Bazarian. Chadi Balaji. Ahmed bin Latmanya. Anthony Betancourt. Michaela Bonfanti. Danielle Bouchard. Darcy Boucher. Sydney Branga. Christopher Bratt. Margaret Brennan. Richard Britt. Brianna Brown. Luke Buckley. Roman Bukovka. Emily Buttman. Andrea Booza. Destiny Callisto. Carly Kalnin. Juan Camello. Brady Carpenter. McKaylee Carr. Jake Karoka. Jack Carter. Mario Carter. Alexander Casares. Zoe Cassidy. Philip Cassie. Lucas Castro. Isabella Catanazzo. Alyssa Kavanaugh. Sophia Salona. Jaden Sanami. Nicholas Cerquera. Maria Chenard. Brianna Clary. Kylie Colella. Jordan Collins. Samuel Conroy. Christian Cook. Richard Costigan. Aiden Cotto. Macy Covino. Maya Cummings. Cam Cuzzy. Janelle DeLeva. John DeLeva. Matthew Dalton. An Dang. Emma Darling. Breno Da Silva. Arlene Davila. Dylan Davis. Luma DeAndrade. João Victor de Oliveira. Urelis de Leon. Evan DeLillo. Jacob Delacroce. Nicholas Delacroce. Lucas DeMild. Alex Danisco. Alexia de Oliveira. Christina Deravan. Matthew Devon. Dante DiGianfelice. Emily DePiero. Hallie DePiero. Edmar Dos Santos. Daniel Dunbar. Christopher Duquette. Ariana Duran. Levi Duval. Tristan L. Ariana Espalat. Luis Estrella. Christopher Fabo. Amanda Farhat. Benjamin Farrell. Carissa Finelli. Eric Ferguson. Serena Finnemore. Valerie Fisher. Brandon Flamia Olson. Kaylee Flynn. Aiden Forney. Olivia Gardikas. Emma Geisler. Melanie Gervasio. Armando Gianasca. Bianca Gigliello. Riley Gill. Ryan Ginchero. Skylar Gerard. Brandon Glass. Matthew Goggin. India Goodman. Ava Haley. Elizabeth Hart. Jason Harvey. Atia Haynes. Emma Hayward. Sadeh Headley Mawasi. Mia Erasme. Yanciel Heredia. Francis Hernandez. Scarlett Hernandez. Mia Hitchcock. Aiden Hobbs. Sophia Hollingshed. Thelma Hollingshed. Jack Holden. Nicholas Huvardis. William Huvardis. Jagger Ingham. Samuel Izzo. Emily Jetter. Samar Kanan. Diana Karaj. Paul Kika. Elios Clefty. Ryan Knight. Olivia Laval. William LeBlanc. Kylie Leonard. Michael Leonard. Nathan LePage. Dakota LaRue. You're welcome.
Garrett Lezard. Chloe Lima. Rafa Lasoma. Adriana Lamano. Haley Lomasny. Jenna Lombard. Caitlin Lozada. Andrew Lucas. Samira Lula. Fiona Linsky. Erin McNeil. Keenan Madden. Kyle Maglione. Robbie Mahoney. Elise Maltsev. Emma Margosian. Johnny Maria. Jabez Marte. Paul Martin. Sarah Martins. Isabel Masters. Matthew McDonald. Aiden McFadden. Brianna McGillicuddy. Keely McGonigal. Gracie McKee. Karina Madrano. Alexandra Mello. Novruz Mashah. Nicole Michaelman. David Miranda. Mia Modugno. Sarah Monsini. Rodalyn Morales. Tyler Morales. Sebastian Moreno. Kayla Moy. Brady Murphy. Jolene Murphy. Jocelyn Myers. Dahlia Najib. Shelley Nascimento. Dado Nasso. Elaine Nguyen. Jaden Nigro. Nikki Nicolzoulis. Haley Norman. Emmanuel Nunez. Bridget O'Connell. Sydney O'Donnell. Jack O'Hara. Dante Oluwu. Jonathan Patios. Shay Wesley Palmer. George Papadopoulos. Jonathan Pappas. Elisa Perret. Samantha Parsons. Julia Paulino. Brandon Pena. Kevin Pence. Derek Perez. Javius Perez. Skylar Perez. Derek Perrin. Brandon Perry. Andrew Phillips. Cassia Picardi. Dionis Pimental Concepcion. Emily Pino. Costa Prusales. Brandon Pizzeni. Matthew Purcell. Emily Puzo. Philip Quigley. Misael Quijano. Joshua Ramo. Dylan Ray. Nicholas Reyes. Isabella Ribeiro. Antonio Riccardi. Alexander Rice. Terrell Rice. Alejandro Rodriguez. Emiliani Rodriguez. Juliana Roman. Alessandra Romano. Caitlin Ross. Aria Rosa. Joelle Ryan. Lily Ryan. Nicholas Sabloni. Vincent Sadowski. Andy Sala. Alan Salazar. Kiara Salzillo. Shalim Santiago. Aaron Shaughnessy. Natalia Sipka. Cameron Silva. Daniel Silva. Carolyn Silva. Gina Simeone. Brody Slate Surratt. Jaden Smith. Tyler Sotomayor. Elise Staunton. Julia Stearns. Nicholas Stork. Josue Suarez Castillo. Justin Sucharwitz. Spencer Summit.
Can you call those after Max Murphy?
Yep. Avery Swanson. Nathaniel Swanson. Joseph Swanton. Amber Tiffini. Brianna Tavares. Jonathan Texera. Christina Ternello. Emily Thomas. Trevin Tilley. Juan Tolantonio. Kenneth Torres Seacrest. Edson Uvale. Oliver Uvale. Samantha Vaccaro. Samantha Valenti. Chantal Valley. Sonia Vasconcelos. Luis Vasquez Perez. Nicholas Vecchio. Precious Venn. Dwayne Vidina. Natalia Vieira. Pedro Vieira. Damon Vu. Daniel Walsh. Nicholas Walsh. Sophia Weinberg. Jose Zader. John Ziader. Isabella Zermani. Nicholas Zito. Madeline Zupio. Max Murphy.
One more, too. I don't know what happened. You might not have, I think you said it,
Yeah.
and he didn't go. So we're just gonna do those again.
Dylan Ray. Isabella Ribeiro. Nicholas Reyes. Tyler Sermon. Your class of 2021 co-presidents, Grace Conway. Amber Karakopoulos.
Great job, Steve. I went 41 minutes so far.
Congratulations.
You want to take this jacket off?
I was in between Little League practices and I was like, I forgot my blazer. You know what? This is a good thing that I forgot.
Good way to forget a blazer.
Did I mention briefly? So I
Before we end today's ceremony, I want to thank the Peabody Police Department and our first responders for all the help today. We couldn't do it without you. All right, at this time, graduates, please stand. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. Please move your tassel from right to left. Esteemed guests, it is my pleasure that I now present to you the graduated class of 2021. For the last time, class is dismissed.
We were here the first real one.